We're back now with Dr. Darien, and apparently the FDA is moving to ban the use of red number 3 in food products. First, what is red number 3 and what does this all mean here?
So red dye number 3 is a color additive. It's added to many different foods, cookies, cakes, some dairy products like strawberry milk, and even certain medications and over-the-counter supplements. And so what happened is, in 2022, there was a petition by nearly 24 health advocates. And the reason why was the goal was to ban red dye number 3, which now the FDA has banned. The history of this is that if you look at the data in animal studies, it was shown that high amounts of red dye were associated with cancer. More specifically, in rat studies, red dye was associated with an increased risk of thyroid cancer. But it's important to note that there's been no studies or evidence that the red dye has been linked to human causes of cancer.
Well, in the mom chats, everyone's talking about this.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, when are we actually going to see this happen?
So it's going to take some time. So in 2027 is when companies need to phase out their red dye, and 2028 is when drug companies need to phase out their red dye. But if you want to make that change today, just start looking at the food label. We talked about this yesterday. On the food label, in the ingredients, you can find the coloring. And if you disagree, you want to avoid that.
So you can actually see.
Yep, the coloring will be
3.
listed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's really a hot topic of discussion because we talk about red dye number 3, but also red dye number 40, which is deemed to be the healthier version. You'll also see at food additives, but the history of that, there's been certain links to hyperactivity in children, which many people are averse to. So when you're looking at those labels, pay attention.
I feel like you have to be an expert when you're
I
reading
know,
this
but
stuff.
also in a lot of other countries, these dyes have already been eliminated.
And in certain states, in California, red dye has been banned previously. Red dye recently, or red dye number 40 was banned recently as well. And so I think it's a movement toward making sure that the food and the products that we're eating are safer. If it doesn't add to any benefit, take it out.
Come to the market with me, please.
I'll try.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on my mom group chat.
I would love that.